Okay, we are now going to move on doing some 30-minute projects using Scratch. Scratch is great fun. Yeah, it's programming. You can make loads of different types of games. We're going to do loads of things. Today's one is literally the basics. How to load up Scratch, how to do the coding on it in particular, what do all the blocks mean, go through some of the terminology, and by the end of it you should be able to make a very simple animation around a disco and Scratch cat being able to move around it in itself. Okay, so we're going to jump straight into it. There's loads of little things that we can do, loads of little bits of programming, the basics in Scratch. Again, it's going to be 30 minutes. It's good fun to do. Okay, so we're going to dive straight into it. So first of all, Scratch is available for Macs and PCs, and you can get it on laptops. You can't get it for iPads, you can't get it for your phone. The only ones that are available on that is Scratch Junior, so it's not quite the same. So you want Scratch. If you type in Scratch into Google, it'll be the first link that appears. There you go. And you can either use the online version, so you can just use it straight over the internet, so you don't have to download anything, but you can actually download a program for it as well. As you can see at the top here, if I press create, it goes on to the actual Scratch there, so you can just do it straight off. So it's very quick. It's got all the same things on what any of the other versions got. If you wish to, you can download it. So if you type Scratch download into Google, and you can see that'll be the first link again. There's an offline editor, and like I said here, you can do it on these ones here. Okay, and you can just press download and you can just click it on and it'll get it. I've downloaded it already, so I'm not going to use the online version. There's my videos, there's my handout, there's folders. If I just type in Scratch, I've already downloaded it and I've got the desktop version, but it's exactly the same stuff. Okay, so it's exactly the same as the online. Okay, I've got a handout that works for all of this as well, and I'll do this on the link so you can download this handout and all. So on here it tells you all the basics of how to do this disco game. You can follow it through as well. You don't have to be following my video, you can actually just follow the handout. Right, so we've got to go over some of the basics. Okay, now all your programming and all your code is here. Okay, so these are called scripts. Okay, everything begins with an S for Scratch. Okay, there's loads of different menus, and you can tell they're all color coded to make it a bit easier for you. If you want to move him, obviously it's motions. If you want to change the look of him, the looks, you've got sound, you've got different events. Controls used a lot, sensing's used a lot, especially when it comes to games, and events. These are probably the two that I use the most, control and events. Here is Scratch, you can move him around. Okay, he's on a stage. Okay, I'm introducing the terminology because you're going to be needing them. I'll be saying them all the time. So there's a stage. Here's a sprite. He's a sprite at the moment. Now I can add in other sprites. If I go down to the bottom, I can paint my own. I can choose some from the internet. I can also change the backdrop. Okay, so here's the background. Okay, now at the moment we're going to use Scratch, so we're going to leave him as it is. And I'll show you a little bit of code real quickly. I can move him 10 steps. Okay. Now everything works off the green flag. So at the moment, move 10 steps. I can double click on it and it does it, and it moves 10 steps. But really, I want to work everything on the games work from the green flag when it goes. So I'm going to go to, like I said, I'm already going to use these quite a lot. I'm going to go to events and when the green flag's clicked. So when the green flag's clicked, it moves 10 steps. Okay, very basic. If I so wish, then I can change the number. Okay, so for instance, I can change it to 20. And obviously he's going to move a bit more further across. Okay, I can also put in a minus number in here. Okay, and if I click the green flag, he goes backwards. Okay, that's just there's loads and loads of code. We'll get into them. Look, you can see you can change all of these numbers all the way down here on different things. To get rid of this, you can right click on it and just delete the block, or what I like to do is just drag it across back over here and it disappears. Right, the first thing I want you to do from this, then I'll just show you the handout. We're going to make a little disco, okay, like this. Okay, we're going to paint it, we're going to make our own. I don't want you to download anything off this, I don't want you to use the ones they've got already. You're going to have to make your actual disco background. We're going to make the sprite, we're going to put a little bit of code so he's moving. This is basically him gliding across. We're going to go into this X and Y axis a little bit, and that's about it for today. We're not going to do a huge amount. It's 30 minutes, to be honest, takes up the time with just actually doing the background itself. It takes a little bit. In fact, I'll pause my video when I'm doing mine. So here, this is the sprites. I'm not going to add in any sprites at the moment. We'll come to that another time. I'm going to do a backdrop. Okay, so I'm not going to choose one. I'm going to paint one. Okay, and it comes up to this screen, and like I just showed you on my handout here, we're going to just draw it out like this. Okay, so we're going to draw a disco. So all you're going to need to do is do lines across. Now I'm going to fast forward time in a bit so you can see it's already appearing, and I'm going to do lines down here. Very simple, very easy to do. I could do this one quite quick, to be fair. Lines going across and down. There's my disco, and we're going to actually animate him, but we're also going to animate the background as well, so it's all kind of flashing. It's all got a disco thing going on. Okay, what you want to make sure is it's all closed up, which mine isn't quite, so it's not going to quite work on that when I'm doing mine real quick, because if I get the paint bucket goes for any holes. So at the moment, if I colour this, it's going to colour all that as well. And you want to choose different colours. Okay, so there's the fill colours. If I click on okay, it doesn't like that. It does like that one. If I do squares, let's try. I need to convert it to the other type. I need to convert to bitmap there for it to work, to fill it the colours, so that's worth knowing. So just press convert to bitmap. It'll be on yours as well. I've already got a hole there. I didn't do it properly there, so it's already filled out. Sometimes I'm like, see, normally in past Scratch versions it just worked. They've obviously changed that around. That's a new thing down there, so that's why it threw me a little bit then. And you can colour it in, okay, and you can do yours properly. Right, you can do that colour. Now I have loads of little colours because obviously you want it to be flashing through, right? So there's my one backdrop, and you can see here I've got one backdrop. Now what we want to do is we want to do multiple backdrops so the colours change from one to the other. So I'm going to click on the first one here. I'm going to get rid of that one and just delete it because it's blank, right? And what I want to do is I want to add in another one. Now I'm going to basically duplicate this one. So I've right clicked on that one and duplicate it. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is change the colours. Now you can duplicate as many. Again, I'm going to have problems because I didn't do it properly, and really you want to colour them all in, all different colours, all the way through. Again, I'm just doing mine real quick, and have a nice background. And you can add in more backdrops. Okay, so right click again, duplicate it. If you duplicate it, it means it's already got the lines anyway, so you just got to fill the colour, so it's a bit easier. Right, now when we did the backdrops, you can notice it's gone onto a tab called backdrop. So to get back to my code, I need to click back up here. Okay, and we're just going to do the first little section on here. Right, so it says there duplicate them, which I've done. Now this is a little bit of code. The first bit of code we're going to do is literally make sure that it goes round and round on itself. Okay, so it's going to start flashing. So at the moment that's all we've got. So what I'm going to need is I'm going to need the green flag when clicked. Remember, it's always off the green flag. Right, now I'm going to introduce the first little bit of code. It's under the control bit, and it's called a forever block. Now a forever block in coding, and it gets more advanced than this, but this is only Scratch, it's only basics at the moment, and it's graphical user interface on it. A forever block means it loops around over and over again. We use computers to do coding because we get a bit bored if something repeats over and over again, but computers don't get bored, they love doing it over and over. So there's the forever block. Okay, now what I want to do, now I have got my backdrop, I'm on the stage, I'm on the backdrop, this has to be selected. If I accidentally select him, I'll be coding him, which I don't want to be doing. I am coding the backdrop, so I have to click on the backdrop there. That's important. The amount of times I've done it myself as well, where I've accidentally clicked on the wrong thing, seems really obvious at the moment, but it is a problem that does happen. I've done it loads. I'm going, why have I coding? Oh, I've clicked on the wrong thing. Right, so there, click on the backdrop. Now, because I'm on the backdrop, it says switch backdrop, so you know you're in the right place if it says switch backdrop on the code. And all I want to do is go to the next backdrop. I've done 2 of them, so it should go from one to the other. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, I'm going to test it. So forever, keep going round, 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 and it does it. Well, I did a few colours. It's going really fast. It's going too fast. So I need to go to the control block and I need to do wait in there. So next backdrop, wait 1 second, should go through. There you go. Obviously yours is going to look better, more colours, more backdrops. You've got a disco thing moving on there. Right, the next thing that we're going to do, and it's literally the last thing, so it's very simple today. Okay, I'm going to make him move and just glide. Okay, now with the gliding, there's an invisible thing happening on the stage. Okay, with the sprite. Notice I'm using my terminology. This up and down, which you might have done in maths, is here, and it shows you here, and let's show you up. It's x going, y going up and down, and x going left to right, and they've actually got coordinates on there. Okay, now this here is 0, 0 in the middle, and it goes up to 250, and it goes up to 250 this way, so this way must be minus 250, and this way is minus 250 that way. So I can use the x and the y coordinate. We'll get into this more. I'll just do the basics today. You can see here, I want him to glide here 0.5 seconds, and I want him to move from x 113, which would be about here ish, to y 156. Now you can see here the x is staying the same, so he's going to stay here, but on the y he's going to go up 156, so he's going to go up. And then it says y 0, go back down, so he's just going to dance around a little bit. So let's put that code in there. Okay, I'm going to use the exact numbers I've got on my handout. So here we go. So he's been selected, got to make sure that, and you can tell by the colours what you need. So you need the forever, I need the green flag clicked, I need the you can tell it's blue, so it's motion. Okay, so glide is here. 0.5 seconds means it's just going to slow down a little bit. That's why that's there. And glide, there's loads of different ones. You've got to make sure you get the right ones. 0.5. And let's do the. Let's test these to see if they actually work. They should work, alright. He just glides across, I'm sure he does, and just dances around. Now you can mess around with these things. You can put in more. Let's just see. See, he's going up and down. Really, he's just jumping up and down. That's what I thought. That's alright though. Works perfectly fine. If I want him to do, maybe I want him to glide across that way. If I want him to glide across that way, I just change these numbers around, because I want the y to stay the same. I might just, you can do either way, you can mess around with it. Let's just change them around. Let's do 156. It should then go the other way, because he's moving across the x-axis now from 0 to 156. There he is. Now if I just move him down on the actual dance floor, I see he's going to y. So I'd have to choose that the y is going up. I probably want that to be 0. You can mess around with this as much as you want. There you go, that's better. 0 means it's on the 0. So if I go back to the y, so 0's not moving and 0's here, so it's going to stay that bit, and then the x is the one that's moving left and right, 100 from 0 to 156, so he's doing that. That's what that is. You can mess with, and this is your additional things that you can do. You can get him to turn, so I can pop that in there. If I do that now, it's always funny to see what happens, to be honest. He's just moving a little bit, 15 degrees each time. Fair enough, works. You can point him in direction. There's loads of looks you can do. You can get him to say hello. Let's pop that one in there. There you go. He's done that. He's saying hello for 2 seconds, so it's stopping him moving, and then it goes back round again. There's loads of different things. You can put some sounds in there. Go mad with it as well. Just add them in, but I'm just in the introduction. It's quite good just to get to use the blogs. Again, if I want to get rid of that, I just delete it over to there. Okay, but that's the basics of Scratch. Okay, so remember the terminologies again, because I'm going to say them again, because you'll be doing these again for the next 4 weeks. So you've got your stage. These are your sprites. You can add in loads of different sprites as well. That's your backdrops one. There's your backdrops. If I want to work on the backdrops, I click on that. I've got tabs across the top that go to those different things, and I've got my scripts that are here. Okay, have fun. It is good fun to do some Scratch.